Before any man receives, the heavens must record the decree. Before the gold appears in your hand, your name must be spoken in the courts of spirit. There is an invisible contract that governs all exchange, unseen, unspoken, but absolute in its authority. Every blessing, every payment, every door that opens in your favor is first drafted in light, signed in vibration, and sealed by the word. The invisible contract is not written on paper, it is written in consciousness. It does not bear ink, it bears faith. It does not require a witness of men, it requires the witness of heaven. Say aloud, my contract is already signed in heaven. Ceases to beg. That understands this law ceases to beg. It no longer doubts, no longer wonders if good will come. It stands still in spiritual certainty, knowing that divine order has already prepared its portion. For the universe is a system of perfect balance, and no decree of faith goes unanswered. Every word you speak in conviction sets in motion the invisible pens of angels. They record your desire, weigh your intention, and determine the measure of your readiness. The payment is not denied, it is only delayed until the vibration matches the decree. When you said, I am supplied by the infinite, the document was opened. When you declared, money flows to me through divine channels, the heavenly record was sealed, but if afterward you spoke doubt, fear, or complaint, you wrote over your own signature. The law is impartial. It mirrors the consciousness that created it. The invisible contract can be strengthened or suspended by your vibration. Speak this now. Speak this now. I restore my divine signature. I affirm my worthiness to receive. Brahm, you are not waiting for heaven. Heaven is waiting for you to authorize release. The treasury of the Spirit is endless, yet it only transfers wealth through those who know they are heirs. You cannot receive what you secretly disown. You cannot manifest what you inwardly fear. Every time you affirm lack, you break the clause of faith. Every time you doubt your worth, you pause the delivery. But when you rise in spiritual remembrance, when you say with conviction, I am the expression of divine supply, the heavens rejoice, for the document can now move into execution. The invisible contract contains no human negotiation. It is not earned by labor or persuasion. It is activated by alignment. Your belief is the pen, your emotion is the seal, and your spoken word is the key that unlocks the treasury. In that unseen realm, angels move as administrators of divine commerce. They assign people, ideas, and circumstances to carry out the decree. What you call coincidence is simply heaven fulfilling its part of the contract. Hebrew, say aloud, all channels are open to me now. Every force of good conspires for my prosperity. There is no delay in spirit, only preparation in the unseen. When your inner frequency is high, the contract becomes visible as opportunity, as favor, as financial increase. The form may vary, but the origin remains the same, the invisible world paying its visible reflection. The law knows no failure. The only question it asks is, are you in agreement with your own decree? For heaven cannot enforce a contract the soul refuses to honor. Therefore, renew your covenant daily, speak the language of abundance, sign your name with gratitude. Every time you bless your finances, you reaffirm your divine right to prosper. Every time you act in faith, the signature glows brighter in the spiritual ledger. And soon the unseen becomes seen. The contract moves from spirit to substance. The words you spoke take form as money, as miracles, as manifestation. Declare this truth until it Ibra. Everything in the universe is vibration. Every word, every thought, every emotion sends out a frequency that returns to its source multiplied. This is the law of resonance, the unseen rhythm by which heaven measures all creation. You do not attract by asking. You attract by becoming. You do not manifest what you wish. You manifest what you are in vibration. Say aloud, I am in tune with divine supply. I resonate with abundance now. The law of resonance does not respond to the noise of your mouth but to the tone of your spirit. You may declare wealth with your lips, but if your heart hums the frequency of lack, the universe answers lack. You may affirm success, but if your inner conversation is fear, the law returns confusion. Heaven does not listen to your words, it listens to your wavelength. The voice that speaks within you, not the one that speaks before men, is what the universe obeys. Therefore, align your inner song with your spoken decree. Let every cell of your being vibrate the truth of abundance. Feel it, know it, embody it until it becomes your natural frequency. Say this now: I harmonize with wealth. I vibrate in divine rhythm. I am the sound of prosperity made flesh. For heaven will only echo what you broadcast. When your vibration rises, all that matches it is drawn without struggle. You do not chase, you magnetize. You do not beg, you command by frequency. The law of resonance makes you a living magnet, pulling into your orbit people, ideas, and opportunities vibrating at your level of faith. If you dwell in gratitude, life brings you more to be grateful for. If you dwell in worry, you will be surrounded by reasons to worry. Energy is impartial. It does not choose. It mirrors. Say aloud, I am the living echo of divine harmony. I only attract what blesses and expands me. Money succeed. You must understand that vibration is the true currency of the soul. Money, success, love, they are merely the material shadows of spiritual resonance. When you are rich in consciousness, the outer wealth cannot resist you. When you are secure in vibration, no man, no economy, no delay can deny your harvest. The law of resonance is mathematical in its precision. It cannot lie. It cannot fail. It cannot contradict the frequency it receives. E-broker, therefore, guard your vibration as sacred. Do not permit low thoughts to dwell in your temple. Cast out the spirit of fear, for it is the great disturber of divine frequency. Speak this with authority. Fear, you have no sound in me. Doubt, you have no tone in my field. I am the voice of faith, the vibration of victory, the echo of infinite wealth. When your words match your vibration, and your vibration matches your faith, you become unstoppable under law. The law of resonance is heaven's great equalizer. It gives no favor to the rich or the poor, only to the aligned. It has no bias toward culture or creed, only toward consciousness. The beggar and the king are the same before it. The one who vibrates higher receives greater manifestation. This is divine justice, the impartial power that answers only to the frequency of belief. When you think a thought of abundance, the angels of manifestation tune themselves to your energy. They hear your tone and respond in kind. They move unseen, adjusting circumstances, aligning people, preparing moments that carry your vibration. And when all is tuned to your song, the form appears, suddenly, inevitably, perfectly. Abrua, say aloud, my energy is wealth. My faith is music. My vibration opens doors no man can close. You are not waiting for things to change, are tuning yourself to the rhythm that already contains them. The wealth exists now, vibrating, waiting for your alignment. The health exists now, vibrating, waiting for your belief. The opportunity exists now, vibrating, waiting for your readiness. Pour, therefore, rise to your divine pitch. Speak from your higher tone. Think from the level of answered prayer. Let every breath declare, I resonate with heaven's abundance. I am one with divine frequency. I vibrate wealth into form. For when your soul sings the same song as heaven, the universe must dance to your command. Faith is the only currency that spends in heaven. No coin, no labor, no human merit can purchase divine supply. Only fate moves the treasury of spirit. Faith is the unseen gold that builds the visible fortune. It is the eternal proof of your divine credit. The moment you believe without wavering, the account in heaven opens. The moment you speak with conviction, the payment is authorized. The angels of prosperity begin their work, not when you ask, but when you believe. Say aloud, "My faith is my fortune, my belief is my bank." Abru. Faith is not a feeling, it is a spiritual transaction. When you hold faith, you hold substance. When you speak faith, you speak creation. It is written in the secret laws of the universe that what is believed must be made visible. Faith is not waiting for evidence. It is commanding evidence to appear. It does not bargain with fear, it overrules it. It stands tall when the world trembles. It declares wealth in the face of debt, healing in the face of sickness, power in the face of impossibility. For faith knows no defeat, and heaven knows no denial. Hebrew Guru, say aloud, "My faith is active, alive, and purchasing my every good, every good." The currency of faith never loses value, never deflates, never weakens. It is backed by the eternal reserve of divine law. You cannot counterfeit it, for the vibration of fear will expose the fraud. True faith is recognized instantly in the courts of heaven. It has the scent of divine certainty, the tone of spiritual command. When faith speaks, creation obeys. When faith moves, heaven moves with it. Every master who walked the earth understood this secret. Faith is substance before substance becomes visible. When you say, "I have it," though your hands are empty, the universe rearranges itself to make your word true. The invisible supply begins to take form, for heaven honors the sound of unwavering faith. To believe without seeing is to operate as the divine does, for God himself calls things that are not as though they were. And when you do the same, you become a co-creator under law. Say aloud, "I walk by divine certainty, not by earthly evidence." You must understand that the entire kingdom of spirit is a storehouse that operates on faith alone. Heaven does not trade in doubt, fear, or hesitation. Those are false currencies, worthless in the higher realms. Each time you doubt, you cancel the order. Each time you fear, you freeze the transaction. But when you believe without resistance, your supply is dispatched at once. It travels on the wings of divine timing, never late, never lost, always precise. Faith is the language of angels, the signature that authorizes miracles. When you speak words of power, when you praise before the manifestation, you are depositing divine currency into the vault of spirit. And soon the withdrawal must come, for it is law that whatever is sown in faith must return multiplied. Hebrews, say this now with power, "I transact only in faith, I invest only in truth, my returns are divine and my harvest certain." There is no poverty for the one who believes. There is no delay for the one who trusts. The unseen universe is eager to serve those who carry the currency of confidence. When the vibration of your faith equals the magnitude of your desire, the manifestation must appear. This is not persuasion, it is principle. Divine law does not negotiate, it fulfills. There are no accidents in your supply, no coincidences in your blessings, no randomness in your rise. Behind every open door, behind every divine opportunity, behind every unexpected miracle, there is an angelic assignment. Heaven's messengers move before you, arranging, aligning, preparing, commanding the material to obey the spiritual decree you have spoken. The moment your word of faith leaves your lips, the angelic forces are released like lightning, swift, sure, and unstoppable. They record your decree and move with precision, fulfilling it under divine law. Say aloud, "The angels of prosperity go before me now. They prepare my way and establish my success." You are not alone in your manifestation. You are Neve, are unassisted. Every soul that walks in alignment with divine order is assigned heavenly laborers, unseen workers who gather substance out of the invisible, who turn thought into form, who draw resources from hidden storehouses and deliver them into your visible world. These are not the angels of sentiment or superstition. These are the administrators of divine commerce. They manage the spiritual transactions that faith initiates. They respond not to your tears but to your authority. They move not for pity but for command. When you speak in alignment with the law, they rise to fulfill it without hesitation. Say aloud, "My words are orders in the kingdom, my faith sends angels into motion." Brew. The angelic assignment is real and immediate. You cannot see them, but you can feel their activity. The sudden favor, the unexpected opportunity, the perfect timing that no human could plan. That is the mark of divine coordination. You may think it is coincidence, but heaven never deals in accidents. Angels are the executors of your vibration. They move only when your words and your faith are in agreement. If your confession wavers, they stand still. If your energy contradicts your decree, they pause their flight. For they are bound by the law of divine integrity. They cannot deliver confusion. But when your inner world is unified, when your faith stands firm, they move like wind through every obstacle, making straight the crooked places. Kibruwa, say aloud, "My angels are active, my path is cleared, my supply is delivered now." Every affirmation understand this. Every affirmation of truth creates employment for angels. Every word of faith becomes an assignment in their hands. When you say, "Money flows to me now," they begin organizing channels. When you declare, "Right opportunities come to me in divine order," they rearrange events to fit your decree. They influence conversations, soften hearts, and lead you to the appointed place at the appointed hour. You are not striving alone, you are commanding a celestial team. Your authority is their permission, your faith is their direction. Say with power, "Heaven's messengers are on duty for me. I release divine instructions into the universe." Doubt. Doubt is the only language angels do not understand. It confuses their orders, clouds the atmosphere, and cancels their mission. But gratitude strengthens them. Praise multiplies their reach. When you bless your unseen helpers, you charge the spiritual air with light, and their work accelerates. They bring you divine appointments, creative ideas, sudden favor, the evidence that heaven has touched earth. Your only task is to stay in harmony with your decree. The angels cannot do your believing for you. They can only perform what belief authorizes. When you stand in unwavering certainty, the universe reorganizes itself around your word. The impossible becomes possible, the delayed becomes delivered, the unseen becomes seen. Declare this now with command and conviction. Angels of abundance, fulfill your assignment. Angels of order, perfect my path. Angels of increase, deliver what belongs to me by divine right. Ibruki, and it shall be done. For the angelic assignment never fails when the decree is pure, the vibration steady, and the faith absolute. The moment you speak in alignment with divine law, heaven mobilizes. The armies of light go forth, the pathways clear, and your blessing descends. Not by struggle, not by chance, but by the orchestration of the Almighty through His invisible messengers. Your angels are working now, your harvest is moving toward you. The command has been issued, and heaven will not rest until the assignment is complete. Ibrahim. Before every manifestation, there comes a proving. Before the payment arrives, before the door opens, before the miracle becomes flesh, the soul must pass the test of alignment. This is not punishment, it is preparation. Heaven never releases what your vibration cannot sustain. The universe withholds nothing. It only waits until you are in harmony with what you have asked for. For divine law will not pour wine into a vessel that leaks belief. It will not deliver wealth to a mind that still vibrates with lack. It will not release healing to one who clings to fear. You must be made equal in consciousness to the blessing you seek. Say aloud, "I align with my divine good. I am now equal in vibration to what I have prayed for." The test of alignment begins in the silence, when appearances contradict your decree, when the evidence seems delayed, when nothing yet moves in the visible. This is where many falter, but the wise know this moment as sacred. It is not the absence of movement, it is the rearrangement of reality. Heaven is adjusting frequencies, refining faith, tuning the soul to match the promise. When your vibration finally harmonizes with the decree, The manifestation can no longer delay. It must appear by law. Say with authority, I stand unwavering in the gap between spoken word and seen result. In this test, you are not being denied, you are being refined. You are being measured not by your effort, but by your energy. Heaven asks only one question. Can your spirit remain aligned when the outer world shakes? For if your belief collapses under pressure, the manifestation must wait until faith rebuilds. This is why many pray yet never receive. They shift vibrations faster than they hold conviction. But those who endure, those who remain aligned when sight fails, become unstoppable creators under divine law. The test of alignment is the crucible of manifestation. Every doubt that rises is an echo of old vibration leaving your field. Every delay is heaven, ensuring your structure can hold the blessing. Do not curse the weight, sanctify it. Do not fight the silence, fill it with praise. Each time you affirm truth when nothing yet appears, you engrave faith deeper into your spirit. Each time you bless the unseen, you raise your resonance another degree. Soon the unseen and the seen must become one. Say aloud, I do not bow to appearances, I command them to bow to truth. The universe listens not to your need, but to your alignment. You may wish for prosperity, but if you vibrate lack, heaven must withhold, not in cruelty, but in mercy, lest your consciousness destroy what your lips have summoned. To receive what is divine, you must think divine, speak divine, live divine. Every complaint lowers your signal, every gratitude strengthens it, every fearful thought repels supply, every word of power draws it closer. Eber, when you are in alignment, life becomes effortless. The right people arrive, doors open at command, the atmosphere bends in your favor. You will seem lucky to others, but it is not luck, it is law. The universe mirrors the alignment of your soul, and when you are tested, stand firm, for the test is only confirmation that heaven is near completion. The pressure you feel is the spiritual contraction before birth. Say now with fire in your words, I am steadfast, I am synchronized with divine order, my faith and my desire are one. When thought, word, and feeling merge in perfect agreement, heaven releases its decree. The test ends, the vibration locks, and manifestation bursts forth. The waiting collapses into suddenness. What seemed delayed arrives all at once, in divine precision. The angels who stood still now rush forth to deliver what you have proved yourself ready to hold, and the soul, once tested, becomes the authority. Bruch, declare it with conviction. I have passed the test of alignment. I am one with my answered prayer. I live now in the vibration of fulfillment. Abram. For in that moment, the invisible bows to you. The heavens open and the law proclaims, this one is aligned. Release the blessing. There comes a moment in the life of every soul when the heavens lean close, when the waiting ends, when the decree becomes flesh. This is the hour of release. It is the divine intersection where faith meets fulfillment, where what was spoken in secret becomes visible before men. Long before this hour arrives, the heavens have been at work, aligning every circumstance, refining every vibration, perfecting every detail. Nothing is random in this sacred timing. Heaven does not rush, and it does not forget. It only waits for the fullness of alignment, the ripeness of faith, the maturity of vibration. When all is ready, when your inner decree harmonizes with divine law, the order goes forth, release the blessing. Say aloud with fire, my hour of release is here, my good can no longer be delayed. The hour of release is not born of struggle, it is born of surrender. It comes not through force, but through faith so steadfast that the unseen must obey. For every promise has an appointed time, and the law declares that what has been conceived in spirit must appear in form. The universe is bound to deliver the substance of your belief. The moment your faith outweighs your fear, heaven releases the manifestation. The invisible storehouses burst open, and what was once withheld flows like a river, unstoppable, abundant. perfect in timing and form. You may have felt forgotten, you may have waited long, you may have walked through nights of silence where nothing seemed to move. But in the unseen, armies of light were preparing your harvest. Every no you heard was redirection, not rejection. Every delay was construction, not denial. Heaven was building the path while you were learning to trust. You were being expanded to receive what was already yours. Say aloud, I trust the divine timing of my release. My waiting has ripened into manifestation. The hour of release comes suddenly, though its foundation was eternal. One moment, there is stillness. The next, there is overflow. The word you spoke long ago, the prayer you whispered through tears, the decree you repeated in faith, all converge into divine motion. Doors open without knocking, debts dissolve without effort, ideas pour without thought, and opportunities rise as if they were waiting for your arrival. This is the evidence of divine orchestration. No man could have arranged it, for it is born of spirit alone. Say with conviction, my supply moves now from the unseen into the seen. Heaven has remembered my name. For when the flow begins, hour of release demands readiness. For when the flow begins, it does not trickle, it floods. You must stand anchored in gratitude, rooted in divine responsibility, and free from fear, lest the blessing overwhelms rather than sustains. The same faith that summoned the release must guide the distribution of its fruits. For the law gives not to the hoarder, but to the steward. Those who hold their wealth in gratitude will never see it fade. Your release is not limited to money, it touches every realm: relationships, purpose, healing, destiny. It is the divine fulfillment of every word you have believed. The universe has heard your vibration and now responds in kind. The hour has struck in eternity, and heaven cannot delay a moment longer. Say it now until your spirit vibrates. This is my appointed hour. What is mine by right of consciousness manifests now. Mibru, in this sacred hour, resistance dies. Old energies dissolve. The vibration of fear loses its voice. You stand as one who has passed through fire and emerged gold. The trials were never punishment. They were purification for this very moment. Every test, every silence, every tear was crafting your readiness. You are no longer becoming, you are. The hour of release is the proof that divine law never fails. It is the harvest of every unseen seed, the reward of every faithful word. And when it arrives, you will know it, for it will come clothed in peace. The striving will cease, the pressure will lift, and you will walk in the effortless rhythm of answered prayer. Say aloud, and let it echo through the heavens. The seal is broken. The vaults of heaven are open. My release is complete and irreversible. Now the universe moves in your favor. The angels deliver what has long been prepared. The earth yields to your vibration, and manifestation answers your command. The time of waiting has ended. This is your divine moment. This is the hour of release.